Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Salmon17 and I'm doing a video, and I don't know if this is gonna be a long video or a short video, but anyways, this is one of those videos I wanted to do. I don't know if I really wanted to do, but I wanted to talk about why I prefer animation over live action. Since the announcement for more Disney live action remakes or whatever, and I seeing some sneak peeks of photos for the new Aladdin movie, how Will Smith looked like as the genie, and my impressions on it are not very positive. And let's just say live action does not work compared to animation. And sorry, I'm just checking if everything is working. Oh boy, sorry. But yeah, with the whole live action remakes for 2D animated movies, TV shows, whatever, I'm like, why do we need this? And I think the problem is a lot of people just don't seem to care about 2D animated movies, and that is really depressing. But I will tell you why I prefer animation over live action, and why making live action movies out of animated projects is a bad idea. And let's go. And one of the biggest examples I want to talk about why I prefer animation over live action, especially when it comes to the Disney movies that have these kind of animal, beastly type of characters, like the Lion King, the Genie, even the Beauty and the Beast, and etc. The reason why these movies work is because with animation you could actually make the characters more expressive, to make them feel like they actually are main characters. They don't feel like, oh, they're like real animals living in our real world, even though they are kind of representative of animals from the real world, especially the Lion King. But with the whole thing with animation is the fact that you can make also these characters move in ways you can't really do in live action. And one of the most disappointing things about, and one of the reasons why making the Lion King or even the Aladdin making them into live action is a bad idea, because when I watched the trailer for the Aladdin live action movie, when I looked at it, I'm like, these animals are not as expressive as the animals from the animated movie. And why that is because they're not animated, they're not drawn, they're not. If they actually kind of like used like CG animation from like Pixar quality type of animation, then it could work a lot better. But with this whole kind of like CG real life animals type of deal with making these movies, it feels like it feels more cheap than compared to animated movies. Because for example, the genie, especially when during the song have you ever had a friend like me? I think I'm pronouncing it right. The way the animated genie's movements and you know, these kind of cool magic tricks the genie shows off during the songs, it clearly shows how much effort was put into the animation, and how much they wanted to have Robin Williams, God rest his soul, wanted to be more expressive as the genie, because he's not in front of the camera, he's basically voicing a character, and because of him voicing the character, he has more freedom to be more expressive, to be kind of like more himself, that wants to bring joy, laughter towards other people. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, the Aladdin movie, I really like the Aladdin movie so much, not just because of the, you know, genie's role, but because the movie has a very good story, interesting villain, the world building of Agrabah is really cool, and you can't really build that in live action. When I saw the footage of Will Smith's genie live action representation of Genie. I'm like, wow, does this look bad? Like, does it really look that bad? Like, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe they're actually doing this. And I feel like with the Disney live action movies, especially when they're coming out next year, I feel like they're doing the same thing that they do with the Marvel movies. They basically rush out these movies, just hammer in 4 more movies into 1 year, and boom, you have like $1 billion or whatever, because people are nostalgia blind or whatever. But there are even, I heard, I don't know if it's really true, but Disney is also making a live action remake for Lilo and Stitch.
Excuse me, what?
Lilo and Stitch. And to be honest, I also love Lilo and Stitch, the 2D animated movie. I love it because it is adventures. I like space adventures. I also like the kid character of Lilo. She's very funny, she's very charismatic, she actually acts like a real kid, and the whole family dynamic is really heart-wrenching. It is really also funny at times, and really it brings out a very strong message. And the way they animated aliens, they don't look like these kind of like abominations, like how Gantu likes to call Stitch a lot of the times, especially in the Lilo and Stitch TV series. The reason why Lilo and Stitch worked as an animated movie, because the characters, especially the aliens, were animated in ways they don't look like they came from a freaking horror movie, or they look like complete disasters. Like there are times with the Star Wars prequels, especially, a lot of the alien designs kind of look apologies, Jesus. But with the Star Wars, the episode 1, from episode 1 to 3, some of the alien designs looked kind of, I don't know how to say this. Don't get me mad at me, LucasArts, but I feel like some of the alien designs kind of looked odd, especially kind of sometimes a bit creepy. Like a lot of people hated Jar Jar Binks, not because of his design, but because of his overall character and his voice. Like, Christ Almighty, what was George Lucas thinking with Jar Jar Binks? But anyways, that's besides the point. But with the way they rush out these movies, especially with the Lilo and Stitch movie, Lilo and Stitch live action remake that is coming out, I am afraid of the results of the trailers or whatever, or how Stitch and the other aliens like Jamba, Pleakley, the Grand Councilwoman, Gantu, how would they look like in live action? And I'm really afraid how they would look like. Now, some people say it's Disney, they can do nothing wrong. I'm sure they can do something right with this, but the question is, why are they doing this? I now understand that Disney is a business. They're doing this because, cue the Tom and Jerry movie line.
We've got to have money.
That is the reason why they're doing this, because they only care about money. It's like, since the Maleficent movie, it is like a beginning of Disney losing ideas. Now, I'm not saying that some of the movies that Disney is producing or taking out in theaters are bad movies. Wreck-It Ralph, for example, was an original idea I really liked, and because I love video games and the characters were really likable. It has some funny humor and some really heart-wrenching moments. I also liked Zootopia because it was kind of like a neat idea. And of course, there were other movies like the Robin Hood animated movie that did anthropomorphic animals and being more civilized and being like civilians instead of human beings. But still, Zootopia was really clever with its whole, I don't know, racism thing. I don't know how to say this because I'm not the smartest person in the world, but the reason in Moana I also liked, but I don't know, there were some problems I think, but I don't know. How are you guys? What do you guys think of some of the new Disney movies? And Incredibles 2, the movie that was supposed, the sequel movie, they waited for like 14 years, and they basically reused the same plot from the first movie, and they also changed Mr. Incredible as the main antagonist, and they put Elastigirl as the main antagonist. And of course, some people gonna write in the comments extra trick or something like, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I hate the internet, but still, it was a really good movie. I also really liked it, even though I really hated the whole, recently Disney's doing the whole secret villain or surprise villain twists, and I really hate those nowadays, especially with Incredibles 2, it felt really way too obvious who the villain is going to be, and the whole secret villain thing. If you also listen to the characters' dialogue, you can already tell who's the real villain in the movie, and that is really stupid, like, Jesus Christ. But still, with the whole animation thing, I still enjoy animation more than live action, because with animation you can create worlds in ways you can't really do in live action, and make characters express themselves in ways you can't do in live action. You make them move in ways you can't do in live action, and the fact is, man, especially when I watched like teens react or kids react, whatever, on YouTube, and when people do comparisons with the original movie and with the new ones, they're like, the new ones are better because they have better things, they have better animation, they have better graphics. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, this one really triggered me, especially when I watched teens playing both the original Spyro the Dragon game and from the PS1 era and the Ignited trilogy. And what do they say? The Ignited trilogy, the Ignited trilogy is better than the original, and that really worries me. Like, this is like, I don't know, I'm kind of off topic here, but this is like a very good comparison with how people are comparing, like, they do the same thing with the Lion King. Like, they say Lion King, the live action remake that is coming out in January. Yeah, thanks Disney. And they're saying it has better animation, and I'm like, what animation? They look like real animals. I don't see a speck of animation anywhere. Like, I only see, it's like putting a green screen and just throw random African animals in there, and then boom, you have the Lion King remake. And what the hell, this is really wrong. Like, with the whole, it's like people don't understand the difference between animation and CG, and it's like, I'm kind of noticing the pattern that people are just blinded by the newest things, by modern things, and they don't feel like the classic things or whatever are worth the effort. Like, and that is so stupid, because if you guys don't know, I actually want to buy someday in the future, I might buy Aladdin, or 2D animated Aladdin movie on Blu-ray, because I grew up with the original Disney movies. But the fact is that people disregard 2D animation especially is really worrying, especially when Disney is doing it, because Disney is the king of animation, and because without Disney, a lot of studios like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon would not be inspired by these grand 2D animated movies that Disney had been producing for over the years. And the fact that nowadays people are just basically disregarding 2D animation as a whole, it is really scaring me, because with animation, like I said, I enjoy animation more than I do with live action, because, for example, I enjoy Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes more than I enjoy any form of MCU movies. Yes, I fucking said it. I only did that joke in one of my videos, few months ago, I believe, but still I preferred Avengers Ultimate Heroes over the MCU Avengers, because with Avengers Ultimate Heroes, it didn't talk down to its core audience. It didn't rely fully on 80% of joking around, and it actually did a really good job at adapting its story really well from the original comics. And they even made the villains threatening. Loki was threatening, Ultron was threatening. They even made new villains like Graviton. He was like super threatening. I can go on, but still, I prefer the animated Avengers compared to the live-action Avengers. And like I said, it did something that MCU movies sometimes lack. Some of the MCU movies really lack, and that is the seriousness and the serious, darker tone the original comics had for a while as well. But God damn it, I forgot where I was going with this, but still, I'm not saying I completely hate MCU movies, but the only MCU movies I really enjoyed was Iron Man 1, The Incredible Hulk, Civil War, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and also Avengers Infinity War. And one of these MCU movies that I like that a lot of other MCU movies lack, and that is the balance between comedy and also the serious storyline, because these movies focused on developing a single character. Like Infinity War was focusing on Thanos' story, Captain America Winter Soldier was focusing on Captain America's story, The Incredible Hulk was focusing on Hulk's origin story, or his story in general, and Iron Man 1 was focusing on Iron Man's story. And and those movies worked because they knew how these characters work. Some of the people who worked on these movies read the comics and tried to do their best to make these good adaptations from the comics. But let me tell you this, Iron Man 1 and The Incredible Hulk were not made when Disney bought the license. Iron Man 1 and The Incredible Hulk were made before Disney bought the license for the Marvel Cinematic, Marvel in general, Marvel Comics, Marvel Cinematic Universe, you name it. Those two movies were made before MCU was a thing, but I'm coming off of topic here again. But like I said, with the animation, like for example, there's another great example, especially one of my favorite anime adaptations of Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man did something that a lot of Spider-Man cartoons or any Spider-Man adaptation hasn't done in years, and that is animating Spider-Man's movements, his fighting style against criminals and bad guys, criminals, supervillains, saving people. The way they animated it, even though yes, it has a bit of a simplistic art style, some people might argue, but with Spectacular Spider-Man it works because they had more freedom to animate Spider-Man's movements. Like, you can actually feel you're watching a Spider-Man, you actually feel like you're watching a Spider-Man cartoon. Spider-Man is a very agile character, and is also a very strong character at times. He can be, like I said, he's very agile, his spider sense always helps him out, and the way they animated his movements really worked because, like for example, the battle between Venom and Spider-Man, Spider-Man was more agile, quick on his reflexes, but Venom was a lot stronger and beefier than Spider-Man, and you can tell the difference between each of the characters' strengths. Venom is a lot stronger, more beefier, Spider is more quicker on his feet, and also strong but not as strong as Venom, because steroid muscles or whatever. But still, this is what I really liked about animation, because you can do make characters move in ways you can't really, you know, replicate in live action that well. Now some movies do that, but like for example, Spider-Man Homecoming does it kind of well, but at the same time, Spider-Man Homecoming is not my favorite Spider-Man movie. Yes, I said it. But like I said, I wanted to do a review for Spider-Man Homecoming, but that will coming on later on in the future. But still, animation is something that needs to be cherished for a long time. We need good animated shows and movies, and especially when it comes to traditional 2D animation. And sure, we have computers, we can do more with traditional animation, especially when we have computers, but still, it's like, the sad part is, I know somebody in comments is gonna say, that's why I moved to anime, whatever, and I'm gonna be honest, I won't say I'm the biggest fan of anime. I like some animes, like Full Metal Alchemist, Blue Exorcist, the early Naruto series, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, and I think that is it. Like, yeah, I also grew up with some of the older shows, but I'm not gonna name them because some people might think I'm crazy. But still, the fact that Japan is still doing 2D animation, even though sometimes they're doing it for the wrong reasons, but still. Still, with Japan, they're still doing animated movies, and the fact that they're doing a much better job than Western animation, it says a lot. And I'm not saying I'm crapping on anime. Like I said, I like some animes, but I won't say I'm like a weeb or like the biggest anime fan ever. Like some of the friends I have on Facebook, but still, yeah. But still, this is my take why I prefer animation over live action. Now, this might take a lot of editing, and I might be able to upload this at Christmas Eve. Also, at Christmas Eve tomorrow, it also is my birthday. Yay me! But if you guys want to wish me happy birthday in the comments, go ahead, because it is coming really soon. But still, yeah, I'm gonna turn 24 years. I'm gonna be 24 years old, and yeah, I know it's not that important, but still, I just want you guys let you know. But still, more importantly, write in the comments what do you think about animation. Do you agree with some of the points I made with why you prefer animation over live action, and also, what do you want me to do for more YouTube stuff? And let's pray to God that YouTube all over Europe is not gonna be completely infected by Article 13, because, like I said, I love doing YouTube, and the fact that if YouTube is gonna be shut down all over Europe in January, then I will have nothing left. And I love doing YouTube videos because I love making out some of the points I like about animation, and the fact that I jumped from gaming to animation, it was a real good decision on my part, because I still enjoy animation the way it is, and I want people also maybe educate people at the same time why animation is really important, especially to the traditional animation. But you know, it's me or whatever. But still, I really don't want to lose all that progress I made in my YouTube channel. Even though my YouTube channel is not that big, I still appreciate every single one of you that has been supporting my channel for the longest time. And let's pray to God that Article 13 is not going to be happen. So yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone, and also Happy New Year. I might do a video maybe next week, I don't know, we shall see. But still, this is Helm117 signing off. And also don't forget to like and share this video with others as well. So yeah, see you guys later, or whatever.